Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and just kind of watching some debates recently and things like that, the carnivore diet, the vegan diet. Um, Let me say this, there is no debate. This is silly. This is absolutely ridiculous. There is no debate here. Um, those who have come across the carnivore diet or whatever, or some of these diets, I get the rabbit hole you've gone down. I understand that. I understand the various biases that you have in your mindset, the idea that you want to live a natural, more natural life, that you want to go and hunt or something or whatever, or want to be a caveman. I kind of understand that. I understand the desire to do that. Uh, but it is totally misplaced. And it's because most of the carnivore people, they don't really understand what their real true instincts and their real true nature is. They think they are getting in touch with that, but they're completely missing the whole point of it. That our instincts are so obvious. I want you to really think about this. Have you ever killed an animal in your life? Have you ever went out and killed an animal? And somebody will say, yeah, I went hunting, went fishing and all that. But have you ever just went out and had a desire to go and kill something? If the answer to that is no, you are not a carnivore. And that is the end of that topic. There is no debate about it. Human beings aren't carnivores. I mean, that's just silly. We lack that main instinct of carnivores, which is to go out and kill things. We just lack it. We don't have it. It's not in your nature. The fact that you go and plan to go hunting on the weekend or something, that's not the same thing. That's a game. For a cat, hunting is its lifestyle. That's what it does. For human beings, our lifestyle is socializing, being around people, gathering food, going to specific places where food already exists, because that is how we are wired. Because our food doesn't move. Our food does not have to be chased. Our food does not have to be hunted down. Our food does not have to be processed. Our food does not require salt to be added for it to be edible. Our food does not cause disease. Our food is fruit and vegetables, leafy greens, whatever, nuts, seeds, things like that. It does not move. And we replicate the exact way that humans have always eaten. Psychologically and so on. We don't hunt for food. We go and find it and forage for it. Right now, you have a map, an internal mental map in your head of all of the restaurants in your area, of all of the supermarkets, the fruit markets in your area, of all the places that you can go to get all these foods. That is your instinct. That is your genetics. That is your millions of years of survival in forests and things like that. Your ability to create mental maps is not something that other animals have. Why is it that some people have different animals and they don't allow them to go out? People don't let their dogs go out on their own, do they? I don't know. Some people don't let their cats out, but cats can tend to find their way back. Dogs not so much, right? Dogs get lost a lot. And it's because a lot of these animals just follow their nose, right? When it comes to food, they're not fixed. They're going to go and find where it is. They're going to smell for it and chase it and hunt for it and whatever. Whereas we have a superior ability to work out our location, to work out where we're going, to plan and all these things. Planning in advance isn't something that really a carnivore does. It's an opportunist. You can't plan to kill an animal. It's either going to be there or not. But you can plan next year to come back to this particular area because there's going to be fruit there. You can do that, and it takes high intelligence, which is the high intelligence of frugivores. That's why we're so intelligent. One of the reasons. One of the reasons. these things can't be debated. I can understand that people have delusional ideas that human beings were evolved on cooked food. I get that to some degree. I don't know how you're in denial about the idea that. I mean, what do you think the human beings had ovens in the forest? I don't know. I don't know what people believe. That we had these ovens that we were just making fires all the time in the tropics, and it never led to like forest fires and everyone dying and stuff like that. That was just we were just able to do that easily, no problems. We had microwaves, we had electricity supplies, we had refrigerators, we had all that stuff. This is what people don't seem to be considering. And also, where would you get the cooked food? Like, where are you getting like potatoes? Well, they only exist in South America, where we didn't exist. So, okay, roots or root vegetables. So, what roots? How is it going to be enough for everyone? Um, Various starches from different trees or whatever. Processing these things very complex. Some of them are very toxic. They require. It's not something that we would have worked out very quickly. So we must have been eating something else by the time that we got smart. We must have got something else, and we just have to go back to our anatomy. It's a huge blind spot in science to not look human beings, bonobos, chimpanzees, orangutans, lemurs, gibbons, whatever, anthropoid primates eat mostly fruit. I mean, it's so simple and obvious. But because people are not addicted to fruit, they always look past it in terms of food. They want to look towards the food they're addicted to. And that is the main issue here. So addiction is a big issue. So I don't believe there's any debate. There's all these debates going on. And the carnivore people, it's like, well, I feel better doing this or whatever. And then they come up with these really bad, really dumb things that they know better. I'm sure they know better than this. I'm sure they've heard all the answers to this. But that's when you realise that some of us have education and some people just kind of wanted to pretend or something. They were pretenders or whatever. But when I hear people say, yeah, well, soya, when you farm soya and all these big monocrops that vegans eat, or avocados, whatever, like it's bad for the workers, and animals die in those processes because they use pesticides, and they have to cut down forests for those things. And it's like, yes, that's a reality of the fact that there's 7 billion people on the planet. The fact that there's going to be some forests cut down, that's a complete reality. I don't think we can do a permaculture world. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you can personally choose to have your own place and grow your own food. I think you're going to find it's going to take up the vast majority of your time. So if your purpose in life is to look after a garden, then that's going to be for you. For a lot of people, that's not going to be the best thing, the best use of their time. Or maybe they'll be able to employ someone else to look after the garden. But growing our food used to take up all our time. It's only very recently that we don't have to do that anymore. But there's no question, there's no debate on this. There is no serious debate on the meat being healthy or not. The World Health Organization's already put the first nail in the coffin. Many years after many nails should have been driven into the coffin, but they're just now starting to dip their toe in the water of coming out with the truth about it. And these huge conglomerate meat companies, they're not going to be happy. But who cares? They're all going to collapse. But they'll probably make fake meat dominate the fake meat market before they do collapse. So they'll probably stay alive. But I don't know. This is just silly, right? This is just silly. What was I saying there about the meat market or something? What was I saying there about? I got my attention distracted. And this is the thing that some of these carnivores do. If you get your attention distracted in a video, they'll say, look, you've got dementia. If you're tired, they'll say you're suffering for the effects of veganism. If you're losing your hair, they'll say that's veganism. If your hair's going grey, that's veganism. If you've got some spots in your face or something, that's veganism. If your beard is ginger, that's veganism. Um, if you've not got particularly good clothing sense, that's veganism as well. So it's like veganism is the problem with everything, and eating meat that has essential fat, no, not even essential fatty acids like EPA or DHA or whatever. Like this is all going to solve your life. Well, it ain't going to solve your life. And here's my prediction for all the carnivore people. This is exactly what's going to happen. Every one of them is going to go back to the standard diet. Every single one of them is going to go back to the worst diet that we've ever been able to work out how to do. The diet that they all tried to get away from. The diet that they all for years talked about how bad it was. The diet that for years they researched how much disease, how much obesity, how much ill suffering, how much pain, how much environmental damage it causes. They're going to go back to that. They're going to go back to the eat everything all the time diet, and then once that starts having the impact that it's obviously going to have, they're going to think they're going to do the whole circle again, come back to veganism, and maybe they'll do it correctly this time. Maybe they'll go raw and stay raw. Who knows? Who knows? But one thing I can tell you for absolute sure: no one stays on a low carb diet long term. Not a single human being does that. And have a look at some of these carnivorous people. Sverige, right? This guy Sverige, who didn't want to meet in Glasgow, doesn't want to meet people that are vegan. Even if we're just coming along to watch, listen to them talk, not going to do anything. We're just interested in learning what they have to say. They don't want to meet, ironically enough. Apparently, it's vegans that don't want to have debates and discussions, but they don't want to even meet us, right? In a video, just look at a video from last week. He makes a litre of orange juice. That's what, I mean, what's that, 500 calories? I don't know, 500 calories, maybe it was more than that, it was maybe 2 litres. Makes a big thing of fresh orange juice. Eats durian, eats cherimoyas. He's given all this fruit to eat. Which he says it's anti-nutrients and all that jazz, anti-nutrients. Yeah, fruit does have natural pesticides that are designed to stop small things from eating it so that big things like us can eat it. They're not anti-nutrients. They are natural pesticides, but we don't suffer from them because we're too big. We have a mass, we have a volume that makes these things not toxic to us. Anyhow, he's carbs. Primal Edge Health, another guy. I don't even know why I'm talking about these guys. This is what's crazy to me. It's like there is no debate. The stuff that these guys are saying is so off the page. It's just so incorrect. It's so inaccurate. It's so unfounded. It has absolutely no basis in reality. It has no basis in reality. But he was talking about he was starting to eat honey and more milk, and a lot of them drink milk because milk is carbohydrates. Not a lot of carbohydrates, but it is carbohydrates. It's lactose. It's obviously like the worst carbohydrate, but it's carbohydrates. I think that what you will find is that a lot of these people will start coming back to a standard diet, not a vegan diet straight away, but to a standard diet. They'll start to include more. They'll call it like healthy primal, like carbohydrates, whatever. They'll come up with some way to explain it to us. Maybe they'll start eating fruit. I'm guessing probably not, but I'm guessing they'll start gradually coming back to eating more carbohydrates. It's just the body will just pull them back to it. It will if it hasn't already, So people do these low carb diets short term, and we know that. We understand that people have done these things short term, but long term people don't do these diets. I've been raw vegan longer than these guys have been carnivore. I guarantee you that. So that's the message of the video. I don't think there's any debate. I think the volume, the weight of evidence is clear if you want to look at it scientifically. If you want to look at the ethical impact or the environmental impact, that's clear as well. And they come up with some silly arguments against that as well. It's a bit crazy. Health-wise, environment, ethics. I'm not a big animal lover. I don't have a pet. I don't really welcome animals into my life. If I've got, if some kind of cat came up to my window, I'm not gonna think, oh, I better look after this cat. I'm not a big animal lover. I don't want to go to an animal sanctuary really. I don't really like that. Zoos, pet, like I kind of admire animals from a distance, but I don't really want to interact with them that much. I kind of cringe when I see people hugging pigs and hugging cows, and I get that there is some kind of real interaction there between people and animals, but I don't necessarily think it's the best thing for the person or for the animals. Like I don't think it's the best thing. So I don't come from all this as an extreme animal lover. I'm not an extreme animal lover. I just think we should leave animals alone. The fact that we're able to do that means that I think we should do that. And we should live a human life without the need for animals and the farming of animals and all that. I just think that looks cruel. It's nasty to kind of chain things up that would otherwise fly away or otherwise go out and live in the world on their own. Keep them away from their own kind. I don't like any of that. Um, and I can't watch the videos of animals being killed. I just cannot watch these things. So I need to be vegan because I'm not happy with that, right? But then when I went vegan and I realised, oh my God, the health benefits, the environmental impact, everything, like it just all made sense. So thanks for watching the video. If you want to support the channel, you can subscribe and share the video. What else are we going to do? Yeah, if you're interested in learning about the raw vegan diet, go to fruitfest.co.uk. We've got some blogs there, we've got videos. We have an email newsletter you can join. The festival is on the 21st to the 28th of July. We do still have some spaces left. Kind of limited now. We've got about just over 100 days till the festival. So we've not got that many spaces left, but you can certainly take one of the last remaining spaces, and we would love to see you there. And feel free to ask your questions below and debate and comment and all that. But I just cannot find an argument against veganism that works. I really cannot find one, apart from it hurts your feelings or you think you feel better or something not doing it. But apart from that, I can't see any reasons.